was almost midnight when Evan found himself driving along the old forest road, rain hammering his windshield like tiny fists. He wasn't supposed to be here. His GPS had rerouted after a landslide blocked the main highway. The forest on both sides was pitch black. The storm made it feel alive, shifting, breathing. His wipers struggled, barely clearing the water. A loud thud hit the roof. He froze. Probably just a branch. Probably. He pressed the gas. The storm only got worse. Lightning flashed. A figure stood in the middle of the road. He slammed the brakes. The car skidded sideways on the wet asphalt. When the vehicle stopped, the figure was gone. Evan's heart pounded. He looked around through the rain-blurred glass. Nothing. Then knock, knock, knock on his passenger window. He whipped his head to the side. A woman stood there, drenched, shivering, her long hair plastered to her face. Her eyes were wide, terrified. "Please, let me in," she cried. "It's not safe out here." Against every instinct, he unlocked the doors. She climbed inside, dripping water onto the seat. Her voice shook violently. "You shouldn't stop here. Not on a night like this." "Why?" Evan asked. Her eyes darted to the windows, to the trees, like something was watching them. "They come out when it rains," she whispered. "They hide in the mist. They follow the lights. They..." She didn't answer. She only whispered again, "Turn off the headlights, please." Reluctantly, Evan switched off the headlights. Darkness swallowed the car. Only the rain remained, pounding, relentless. Then he heard something new. Soft footsteps in the mud, circling the car. The woman curled into herself, covering her ears. "Don't look at them," she whispered. "No matter what you hear, don't look." Evan swallowed hard. What are we hiding from? Lightning flashed again. Something tall stood between the trees, thin, crooked, its limbs too long. Facing the car, watching, a child's voice called out from the rain. "Mommy, Mommy, it's cold." The woman's breath hitched. Her hands trembled. "That's not real," she whispered. "They use voices. They mimic. They know who you love." Evan's blood turned to ice. "They're trying to lure us out. Mommy, help me." The voice was closer now, right outside the door. Evan's hand moved toward the handle. She grabbed his wrist. "That isn't a child," she hissed. The footsteps returned, now tapping against the roof. Lightning struck again. For a split second, Evan saw them clearly. 4 tall, thin silhouettes around the car, bent like broken puppets, faces stretched smooth and empty. When the darkness returned, they were gone. "Drive," the woman whispered urgently. "Drive before they choose you." Evan turned the ignition. The car didn't start. Again, click, again, click. Something scraped along the roof, slow, like fingertips dragging across metal. Then, whispering, dozens of voices overlapping, surrounding the car. "Let us in. We're cold. We're hungry. Look at us." Rain began to stream down the windshield in heavy sheets, turning from clear water to something darker, thicker, black, like ink. Evan's breath fogged the glass. The woman stared straight ahead, repeating, "Don't look, don't look, don't look." But something pressed its face against the rear window, a pale shape, melted-looking, twisting its neck unnaturally. Evan couldn't help it. He looked. The shape smiled, not with lips, with a long slit stretching across its entire face. The car shook violently. "They know you saw them," the woman screamed. The engine finally roared to life. Evan slammed the accelerator. The car tore down the road, tires spraying water in all directions. But the things ran alongside the car, impossibly fast, their limbs hitting the ground like snapping bones. One climbed onto the trunk. Another crawled across the roof. A third pressed its hand against Evan's window, leaving streaks of black slime. "Don't look at them," the woman shouted. He kept his eyes on the road until something dangled down the windshield in front of him. A face, upside down, smiling that same slit-mouthed smile. Evan screamed. The car spun. Everything went black. Rain fell harder. Evan opened his eyes. Dizzy, bleeding. The woman was gone. The passenger door hung open. He crawled out of the wreckage. The storm had become silent. No thunder, no wind, just rain. He looked up the road. The woman stood there barefoot, staring at him. "You shouldn't have looked," she whispered. Her voice was different now, deeper, layered. She raised her hand. Her skin melted like wet clay, revealing something pale, tall, and twisted beneath it. Evan's body froze, not from fear, from their control. The creatures emerged from the rain, 4, then 8, then more, surrounding him in a perfect circle, their faces stretched open into black voids. Their whispering blended into a single echo. "Join us in the rain." Evan felt his limbs move on their own. He walked toward the forest, past the wrecked car, past the crying trees, past the world of the living. Rain washed his face, filling his mouth, his nose, his lungs. He didn't struggle. He didn't scream. The last thing he heard before the darkness swallowed him was the woman's voice, no longer human. One more for the storm. The next morning, Highway Patrol found Evan's empty car. The driver's door was open. The footsteps leading into the woods disappeared into the rain. And locals say that on stormy nights, if you drive that road alone, you can still hear Evan whispering, "Don't look at them."